Sam Hansen, A&P Lab Eye Dissection. So I dissected the eye already. I'll just start with going over a few things. The choroid is right here. Dark portion, dark tissue. It's between the retina and the sclera. It's also the most posterior part of the vascular tunic, and it lines the interior of the sclera. So now there's a blind spot back here on the back of the eye. It's underneath the optic nerve back there, right underneath all of this stuff, right back here. The blind spot is the area of the retina where all of the receptor cells converge, and they form right here. They form the optic nerve right there. And the optic nerve is just a bundle of nerve cells that send signals from the eye to the brain. The retina is this white spot right here, and that's a light sensitive. It's made up of cones and rods. Okay, and then you got the sclera, which is out here. The sclera, it's the very white outer portion of the eyeball. Protects most of the inner structures, helps maintain the eye's rigidity. It's very tough. The hyaloid fossa was under here in that cavity. It's actually, there's an indent in here. This is the vitreous humor. And when this came out of the eye, there's a little indent in there between the vitreous humor and the lens, which is this here. And the hyaloid fossa is that indent, and it helps support the lens. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of in the center of the vitreous body. So the iris, pulled the iris out here. The iris is out here, right there. That's the iris that came out of this cavity here of the eye. And that basically, it helps regulate the size of the pupil. It has some pigmented cells. The cornea is up here. Cut that in half when I did the dissection. The cornea, that's what allows the light to enter the eye. For the most part, it's transparent. And the pupil, back here. See if I can prop this up. So the pupil is in here, kind of behind the cornea. If I can actually, I don't think so, maybe, but that's probably part of it right there. The pupil, that changes in size, and it changes in size with the intensity of the light. So if it's darker, your pupil's going to be bigger. If it's brighter, your pupil's going to get smaller. It's going to dilate. And there's a small opening. The pupil is a small opening in the middle of the iris, and that's what allows the light to enter. Let's see. Here's the iris. Here. All right. And the aqueous humor is there's a clear fluid in here, and that sits in front of the lens, which is this, but behind the cornea, which is this. It's a clear fluid. You can't see, I don't think you can see it on the tray, but there's clear fluid around here. That's the aqueous humor. The lens, which again is right there, that's what focuses the light. It focuses the light that comes in through the cornea and the pupil. Alright, then the zonula solaris, that is going to be above, up in this cavity, up on top. That cavity up on top. So the lens sits in here, that, and it's going to be up here. So the zonula solaris is just ligaments, and they surround the lens, and that's what helps it to stretch, and it helps it to focus. And then last but not least is the vitreous humor, which is this part here, and it's the clear fluid inside the vitreous body, and that helps maintain the shape of the eyeball, and it literally fills the whole vitreous body. It also holds the retina flat against the choroid. That concludes my eyeball dissection and video.